I want to start.
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 Oh, good emoting. Okay, all right. Are you ready?
Is that funny?
Oh, yeah. Are you good? Focus.
That doesn't help. I've tried it before.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, yes, let me. You good? So we're going to talk about the Hotel Transylvania series a little bit, mainly the second and third films. The third film was just released in theaters, and we went yesterday, as a matter of fact. So you've seen a lot of different films of this type in theaters. So animated, we're going to call them animated films for lack of a better term. And that would include the Pixar style animation or cartoon animation, all the different ones. You were really you were the one that was kind of pressing to see this film. Now, had you seen either of the other Hotel Transylvanias before this one?
I saw Hotel Transylvania 2, but I only saw little snippets of it. I've never seen any of Hotel Transylvania 1. But before we went to Hotel Transylvania 3, we saw Hotel Transylvania 2.
Yes, we watched it on TV. All right, well, let me ask you this part though. What made you want to see Hotel Transylvania 3 since you'd never seen the other two films? Why were you so eager to see it?
I thought it was funny in the trailers.
In the previews and the trailers?
Mm-hmm. And I thought I liked Blobby because I knew he was in there. And I knew that Dennis was going to be in there. And I knew that he was a vampire.
Okay, that's okay. You could say that. Sure.
Okay, I knew that he was a vampire, so I thought he would kind of do something, and I knew that he loved twinkles.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. The trailers and the previews were very funny. I laughed out loud at some of the gags in there and what have you. So before going to Hotel Transylvania 3 yesterday, you were at my house, you and Colton, and we were looking for something to do in the morning. And I went through the on-demand stuff, and it was there. It was a free movie on demand, Hotel Transylvania 2. So I threw it on. Now Colton was not eager to go to Hotel Transylvania 3. He said he didn't want to go. He wasn't interested. Whatever else. So I put the second film up. And he got engrossed with it. And actually, when that film finished, he said to me, "Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry I didn't want to go to the Hotel Transylvania movies because they're good and I was wrong." So that was like a huge revelation. He said I was wrong and he said sorry, and it was amazing.
He barely ever says that.
He barely ever says that. So he really liked the second film. Did you like the second film?
Yes.
Okay. And I watched it a little bit piecemeal. I was trying to take care of a couple things, but I kept, there would be something funny and I'd stop and watch it for a few minutes and what have you. And I enjoyed it. And then we went to this film. Now, let's talk about Hotel Transylvania 3. We'll concentrate on that for a minute. Did you like it?
Yes.
How much did you like it?
Probably like 100%.
Okay, you really liked it. How come?
Because I like the characters.
Okay.
And I thought they had their own moments when they were very funny.
Okay, true. They all had very funny, each one of them had a funny bit or a funny moment. Several of them, actually. Go ahead.
And so, yeah.
What was your favorite part of the movie? Did you have a favorite part? Without giving a spoiler away. Let's not give a spoiler
Probably
away.
the end.
The ending? Okay. Yeah, that would be a spoiler, so we're not going to talk about that. Do you have favorite characters?
I like Mavis, Dennis, Twinkles, Blobby,
Okay. Is that it? I know you like the other characters too, but were they your favorites?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what Mavis's dad was called.
Oh, it's Drac. It's Dracula. Okay. So Mavis, as we just indicated, Mavis is Dracula's daughter. Dennis is Mavis's son, and that's Dracula's grandson. And then Twinkles, is that the little, the werewolf that Dennis likes? Is that who Twinkles is? Oh no, Twinkles is the big puppy, right?
But she doesn't want to say the big puppy in front
Right. That's the big puppy. And then Blobby is the blob. Okay, so, all right, now let me say this. I am not an Adam Sandler fan. And I did not have any idea initially that he was doing the voice for Dracula until we popped Hotel Transylvania 2 on the demand thing. And we were watching it. I'm like, I know that voice. Why do I know that voice? And I realized it was Adam Sandler. This would have to be my favorite performance of Adam Sandler's is the Dracula performance in the Hotel Transylvania series. I really enjoyed it a lot. I think that the films have interesting messages without being heavy-handed necessarily with the messages. The monsters are sort of working to accept humans and be okay with that. So with the hotel initially, they allow humans to come and be residents at the hotel. And that's a big deal because the monsters and the humans didn't used to interact. And then Drac's daughter, Mavis, marries a human, and that was a big deal. Of course, her grandfather, Vlad, wasn't going to accept that, and then did in that film. In this film, Hotel Transylvania 3 it takes place on a cruise ship where they go to relax. And the idea here is that Mavis is taking her father on the cruise because she thinks he's stressed out from business-related things and needs to relax. In reality, Drac has been alone since Mavis's mom died, and he's been alone a long time, and he's lonely. So he's going on the cruise. She's bringing him on the cruise for one reason, but he's also lonely, and he sort of falls in love with the captain of the cruise ship. And she's got a hidden identity, and things happen there we won't go into. But I guess what it sort of points out is it deals with like accepting other people. So the monsters have to accept the humans, and the humans have to accept the monsters. And so it has that message going on, which is relatable to many things in today's world. And it also, Mavis is dealing with the fact that her dad's a single dad, and she's in love with somebody that she wasn't sure her dad was going to accept. And then she has a child, and she's worried about the child, so and how he's going to be brought up and everything. So it sort of deals with modern, everyday families, and I don't want to say families are dysfunctional, but the way families function now. It tries to deal with a lot of those things and put it in terms that kids who are watching the film can relate to. And then maybe you can have a conversation about it on the car ride home or later that day, because there are things that come up for a lot of families now. There is no normal. Whatever your situation is normal for you, and that's what the film is kind of trying to say. So for you, you've seen Disney, I don't want you to say, you could say however you want to here, but you've seen Pixar films like Toy Story and the films in that group. You've seen standard Disney animation films like Rapunzel, the old Snow White, Cinderella, things like that. You've seen lots of different animated films. How do you think this series stands up to, say, like the Disney films or the Pixar films for you?
I think it's as good as the Disney films.
Okay. So now talk about, for me, if you would, talk about how like a Disney film, say like Rapunzel or Cinderella, works in how is it the same or how is it different for you than the Hotel Transylvania films?
I think it's because like the princess is the main character.
In the Disney films? Okay.
And in Hotel Transylvania 3, Mavis is the main character, basically.
Mavis is for you? It's probably Mavis or Drac for sure.
Right.
It's definitely their relationship. And how does one work? I don't know if I want to say work better, but did you relate to one more than the other? Is one film series more relatable for you? Can you understand the character better? Like, do you understand Mavis better than you would understand, say, Rapunzel or Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty?
I think I can understand any of the Disney princesses just a little better.
Oh, so you can relate to the princesses better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
But
interesting.
I can still understand Mavis.
Mavis. And that's true. Anything that you find stronger or weaker in one film series or the other? It's okay if not. So this has its own little spot for you, and it works for you. Okay, that's good. Well, I think, there's value in what you're saying because the Disney princesses in their movies, they do have messages, and they just work in a different realm. It's told in more of a fairy tale story. This is not so much a fairy tale. Although monsters, aren't necessarily real, they're taking a realistic approach. And the monster aspect is used for humor. And there is a lot of fun humor in the piece. Drac is very funny. He's got a lot of funny lines. And you said, I understand who your characters were. Your favorite characters were. For me, I really like the character of Drac. My second favorite character stuns me, but it's probably Johnny, his son-in-law. And it's because Johnny grows on you through the film series. There was one line, I think it was in Hotel Transylvania 2, where Drac calls him a hippie. He goes, I'm not a hippie, I'm a slacker. And I found that very funny. But Johnny he really cares for Mavis, but he also cares for his father-in-law and wants to make sure his father-in-law is happy and wants to make sure that his wife and his father-in-law still get along and the relationship is okay. He really cares about everybody else, and I kind of like how he does that. And he allows himself and his character to take a back seat to the story, and Johnny takes a back seat to Mavis and Drac's situation too. He has no ego where that's concerned, and he really cares about people, and I think that's kind of a cool thing. So I kind of liked. I'm surprised, but I kind of really liked his character and what have you. There's a lot of fun. The Frankenstein character, the Invisible Man is funny. You asked me who's driving the car at one point in the Hotel Transylvania 2. You're like, who's driving the car? I'm like, it's the Invisible Man.
Well, I saw his glasses, but I thought he was in the...
No, it's great. It's funny, and I thought it was very funny. I also like the werewolf husband and wife, and they have 100 kids, and they go on the cruise.
Wait. I think it's 3001 and one's a girl.
Okay, there you go. See, you listen better. I like when they go on the cruise ship and there's the kids club on the cruise ship and they're gonna hand off the kids, and the guys explain, no, the kids club is so that we take the kids and they have a good time and then you can have a good time. And they're like, they can't believe that these guys are gonna watch their kids and they can go off and have a great time.
But they only have some of their kids in their hands, and then...
Right, and then all their kids come through the doors. And that's the other characters that I thought were hilarious in Hotel Transylvania 3 were the fish. The fish that are sort of the stewards and the cabin boys and whatever, and the cruise directors on the ship. Funny voice work, very funny voice work, and great characters. And the fact that their heads are stuck and their eyes are stuck up, even when they're playing in the band, and the guy's playing the trumpet, he has to hold it up above his head because that's the way the fish is shaped. Very fun, cute little pieces. I think it's worth the day. I mean, if you're looking for something to do with the kids, you want to pull this out as a rental or go to the theater if it's still in the theater when you're watching this. I think it was worthwhile. I enjoyed it. It was fun morning we had with it.
I think the fish, I don't want to give it away, so I think they have a little human part to it.
Yeah? Okay. All right, anything else did you want to elaborate on that? Or is that all you wanted to say? Because you don't want to give anything away.
I don't want to give it.
Okay, all right. So, is there anything else you want to say about the film or the film series?
No.
Okay. It really is a story about families and how families work and function in today's world. And I think as such, it works really well, and it's a good conversation starter. It also gives kids who can't necessarily relate to the Disney films a different group of characters that maybe they can relate to. So I think it works that way. Yummy or crummy for you? I know what you're going to say.
Yummy.
Yummy. And it was yummy for me. I mean, as an adult, I could enjoy the jokes. And like I said, I think there's some worthwhile subject matter in there for families. So I think that's good. All right. I have no more blah, blah, blah. Do you have any more blah, blah, blah?
No more blah, blah, blah for me.
Blah. Blah.